Idea is to make them...
in order to recognize the colors. What they might do is they might have put up signs, let's say.
Right, that would make sense.
Traitor, treason.
Well, I mean, is there like a universal symbol for that?
Well, yes, putting someone in a cage and hanging.
Well, no. I mean, if you're going to put text on it, remember that most people can't read. So, is there like a universal symbol for this man was a traitor, or this man stole a loaf of bread for his cousin's children?
That they would put up the signs and then they would be spelled wrong.
Yeah.
To just hammer that home.
It makes sense though that death by exposure means you probably don't get to keep your clothes. So yeah, but there is some sort of sign.
It's miserable. The worst part is these poles were already here because it's the three corners for it. The pride of the defenses of Triskellion domain.
Right, you've passed through here before. You have not seen them used before, though. But now you're seeing it, and it's grim.
Yeah.
Okay. At the gates of the fort, you're approached once again. This is a larger and more fortified unit of gatekeepers, and they are asking to investigate everyone coming through, and I guess peace bond the weapons. Is that a thing that they did? That they would do?
Well, yeah. I mean,
right?
They might actually confiscate them and take them away if it's wartime, because they don't want me unbonding it.
Right.
I mean, yeah. So the question is whether it's smuggle the weapon. They would not let me bring my guns in. I am not. No. In fact, I should take my guns and hand them to Theta. Theta, what's your character's name? Because you never put it in the thing.
Oh, it's Address Guards.
Address.
It shows up every time I make a roll or anything, too.
Yeah, actually, now that I look at his address. So, I mean, Sir Gar, I hope I'm not imposing when I ask you to carry my guns for me.
No, in fact, if you want to give me more guns later, I'd do that, too.
Nice.
Yeah. And
who needs presents when you've got one of these?
I have a brace. I have two.
I know. People are just scared. See that goblin after you shot it?
I shot the goblin and only scared him. That would have felled a mortal.
No, you're misremembering. You hurt and injured it too. You hurt and injured the goblin that you shot. You didn't just scare it.
No, but by fell. But I mean, yeah. But it was a 6-point hit. It would have felled a mortal.
Oh no, it was scary that it was still flying, but it was surely a bloody mess after you shot it, though.
Yeah.
The goblins are quite familiar. But anyway, yeah, I would give the guns to you, and then they might actually ask you to forfeit them. But it's weirder if I show up as a commoner wearing this. And it's a question of whether they would let us take... I mean, it is wartime. They might actually tell us that you... I don't know. Usually, the tack that we usually take in the game is that Triskellion, recognizing the need for a militia, allows people to carry certain weapons, but not other ones. Gunpowder ones are usually right out.
Yeah. That's where they'll draw the line. Gunpowder weapons, right, are very imbalancing. Whereas if you have a guard force that are carrying spears, they're probably spears and armor. They're probably equipped to deal with people who have daggers and even maybe swords.
Gunpowder in general, because you could have a gunpowder plot and use it for demolition. So they just say, look, gunpowder is illegal.
Yeah, so no gunpowder, no guns.
Well, I mean, could make the negotiation to keep the guns, give them the gunpowder.
I'm giving the guns to you, and I'll let you take care of the
that's what I'm saying. If they try to pull one on me, I think that's the tack that I would take.
Right, that's why I gave them to you. You might be able to make the case in recognizing that I am blooded, and by virtue of my nobility, I have license to carry these weapons.
Right. So what I'll say is, their policy here is no guns, gunpowder, explosives, no bladed or weapon heavier than a short sword, right? Mm-hmm. But we'll have Adris do a negotiation, and based on the number of successes he can pull off, you might be able to get away with some of this.
Sir, these are family heirlooms. They mean more to me than your life.
And the life of All of your ancestors.
All right,
and
that's
future
negotiation,
progeny.
buddy.
There you go.
Will or mind?
And you don't have etiquette, so you don't have the big words.
I think will in this case.
Do you have bribery? Does anybody have bribery yet?
I don't think it's on my list.
Anyone
Okay.
has had bribery.
I was just looking at him going, that would be useful, huh?
Bribery is...
Would this be a fast talk situation? Because if we get past this guy,
No,
I'm never going to meet him again.
If we can get past him in 5 minutes, it's a be a fast talk.
It could be.
And there is a line behind us, right?
Yeah, they're trying to move people through.
All right. Just don't meet the guy later because he'll regret it.
That's what everyone who meets me says. That's 1, 2, 3. 3 successes.
Nice. Okay, 3 successes. So yeah. So you convince him to let you keep the guns, but surrender the powder.
It's fine.
So you can keep the guns, and you guys can also keep... I don't think any of you was carrying anything larger than the mace, right? That
No, Connor and I fight with fencing swords. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I feel like Connor also has a mace, though. Doesn't he?
Yes.
I mean, I technically have a rapier and a main gosh, I never say it right.
Yeah.
But I never used
Me neither,
them.
I don't know.
And the doctor doesn't have a weapon. That is a ceremonial staff.
Exactly.
Which happens to weigh 14
Exactly.
pounds.
It's a station of my ability, of my position as a member of the flock, you know?
Yes, these are my...
And so that everyone knows that I am a local healer and preacher that they can come to for aid.
This is my servants. These are my bodyguards. This is my personal messenger. This is my major domo, point to Connor. This is my my personal advisor and healer, point to Anonymous.
Yeah. I guess it would be more worrying if it was like a mage coming in, because, of course, everything they do is terrifying and destructive. But I'm one of the light. Everything I do is about helping others, and is hardly destructive. Ignore the laser beam.
Why do I smell
and you
burnt
smell
ozone?
so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you get your staff, and the end of it's charred and black.
I didn't know Electrum could plate like that with charcoal.
Oh my god. Yeah, so the guard will say, sir, yes, while you're inside the confines of the fort, we ask that you keep your weapons in their sheathed and out of sight. These pistols, as you say, have sentimental value. We're taking the powder. However, please keep them out of sight while you're staying here at the fort. Yeah, that's basically all they have to say to you, and then they kind of wave you through. So you guys managed to get through, packing all of your respective heat, but without the powder necessary to fire those guns. But they didn't take your guns. And now that you're inside the fort, you've been here before, you can see that it is sort of like a cross between like a quad courtyard meeting area. There's a castle-like structure that you know houses a dungeon, which some of you have been inside of before. And then the rest of it is kind of like a weird outdoor mall type area where merchants are selling to all of the foot traffic that here. There's stables and there's places where you can buy transportation or rent transportation. There's a Cartwright for, tune-ups, that sort of thing.
Where is the nearest bar?
There's multiple taverns.
There was a poetry competition going on here a few months ago. I don't think they're doing that tonight, or I imagine it's not a regular thing, but I could go show you where it is.
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to talk out of character for a moment. My plan is to head to a bar with a bunch of beautiful women, or pretty, what's her name, who's always with me, the squirrel girl.
Okay.
So that I can carouse and seduce my way to information.
Yeah, there definitely would be...
Because my big questions are, is there a carriage here that it's a lot of money owed for? 2, do we know where Frederick might be or when his execution date is? And 3, is Della Vega here?
Right, this is something that you're on top of, I think.
Yeah, because I imagine those are all gossip rules.
Yeah, and I can't think of any reason. I would hang out with you. Let me assist you. Because, I'll just read the crowd and find out who knows something and who doesn't. That way I can keep a low profile.
Sounds good.
I can assist if you wish.
course, you're my major domo, aren't you?
Assist.
We all stop to talk.
You get a D12 bonus from me. I am finally a team player.
Hey.
Amazing.
Can I also throw in streetwise? Because, I'm all about them people.
Take an extra D8 from me.
Can you throw in streetwise?
Are there no criminal element in Three Corners Fort? Did they all get eliminated somehow?
My advice is that when players throw in a die that's of limited application, you have them throw that separately. And so if it rolls a success, you give them something relevant to the success. So if he rolls the streetwise die and it gets a success, you tell him something related to crime.
All right, then, yeah. So include your streetwise, and we'll just keep track of it.
So it might not tell you where Della Vega is, because he's not a criminal, but it might tell you about Frederico.
Okay, so I got a D12 from Anushka. Doctor and Connor, are those both D8s, or one of them a D12?
D8s.
D8.
All right, this is all my dice with the carousing and seduction included, with not the streetwise. And this is my streetwise.
A lot.
So my streetwise also came up a success.
Damn.
What is my favorite use of gossip?
Now, if you're throwing seduction in there, that means you're also getting a lot of attention.
It's fine.
9 successes, Jesus.
Well, for you, it's fine. For me, it's not.
Yeah, my favorite use of...
so it hits him first before us.
My favorite use of gossip is Gang of Irregulars, so it's not gonna... No rerolls on this.
Yeah. I'll just point out that if... I know this is not the same thing, and context matters, but if you had rolled that dice pool, there was a chance that you could have swayed the king from... you might have been able to convince the Archduke to accept the terms. Like,
well,
that's
you asked
in
for
one
presents,
roll.
though, not gossip.
I mean, yeah, well, that's ultimately what it is, right?
So it's technically
that is a
8
massive
successes, plus 1 if you count streetwise.
He can get up to a party with the Duke.
If Frederico is here, we would know about it.
Yes, definitely, certainly. And he is. He's being kept in the dungeons. The dungeons that I think Anushka and the Doc were actually taken down into for an interrogation on your last stay at Three Corners Fort. So you know that he's being held there. There are many people here who saw him paraded in, even though he had quite obvious. It was big to do because the rebel bandits were, some of them, their leadership apparently were captured and brought in. What else? So
the cart and Della Vega.
Right. So the cart, the cart was sold, or actually no, the cart was confiscated. Now belongs to an agent of the crown. She is a well-known interrogator, who is feared for her ability to pry information out of people. She is also in town, and you see the cart. The cart has been parked in the royal parking space.
Here.
It is there.
Wow. I bet it's been maintained well, too.
Yes, it looks nice. It's got a new coat of paint.
Wow.
Sort of a more beer villainous, like black and crimson thing going on.
I haven't seen it for like months. It's like something like it just comes back to me. Like,
yes.
I think I may have met the person who owns it.
It's possible. I like the idea that Anushka walks by and goes, "Oh, my baby, what did they do to you?" And she's just like rubbing her back claws over the wheel.
Actually, you were with me at the time, weren't you?
I mean, the problem with that is like, wow, it looks better than ever.
Yeah, but it's more like dominatrix in the basement, right?
Yeah.
The thoughts just flood back into my head of like the adventures I had the last time I saw it. Like since then, I've gotten embroiled in this huge war.
And what about part 3? Is Della Vega here?
Della Vega is not here, although there's whispers that he will be present for the execution of Frederick.
When's it scheduled for?
5 days from today.
Yeah, 5 days to pick him out.
Yeah, say, if we hold on long enough, we can rescue him last minute, and Anushka can get her revenge.
Suddenly, like, like gears in my head start to strip. It's like, I can't use Frederico as a pawn for my blood feud.
Why not?
The doctor would literally put a hand on his shoulder and go, "Revenge is a dark and sordid business, but he has it coming to him.
Revenge is a dish best served 5 days later."
I need a picture of like
Oh shit. Okay, yeah. So pouring through my old recap notes, the tavern with the poetry contest is called the Fourth Corner, which I do think is rather clever.
Which will probably in the end. So yeah.
Yeah.
So this is where you're gathering your information.
Yeah, it's like
Hey, I got no love lost for De La Vega. I'm here to help. That guy's an asshole.
I did not mention this character by name.
Well, I don't know. I guess it makes sense. And we could stay here for 5 days. We're not wanted for anything. The problem is we'd have to take De La Vega. Did they let you keep the guns? But not the powder,
just no
right?
gunpowder.
Yeah, well, then they can't really use them then.
Unless you can find a source of gunpowder here in the fort.
We would have to.
Streetwise is for.
That's what Streetwise is for. We would have to find gunpowder,
which I also have a success for on that Streetwise as well.
Right. Well, we would have to find gunpowder, sequester it where it can't be found, and somehow load the guns and wait. So your plan is to rescue him during the execution?
Yeah, last minute, Robin Hood style.
And this is for treason. So what are they going to do? Chop his head off?
Oh, I'm not going to be there. I mean, you people.
Treason. I don't think it's going to be as barbaric as the whole wheel scenario that we were talking about last.
I love you say it's barbaric, but quartering is worse.
That's what I'm right. Quartering is really, really bad. I think it might be a beheading. I think it's a beheading.
Which is terrible.
Oh, wait, this is an evil. We are talking about an evil monarchy right now, so you know what? Quartering. Why not? Let's go for it.
I mean, it's really evil.
Well,
I'm calling them evil.
I also hate to point out, it's like the Middle Ages. It's like,
That's true.
I mean, he's being tried for treason, which is the ultimate crime.
So I'm just saying that the soldiers here at the fort, some of them might use guns themselves, which would mean that the garrison probably has a source of gunpowder, which means that if there is a criminal element here, they might be buying and selling with, the least reputable parts of the garrison, which means that we might have a plausible source without having to sneak and steal our own gunpowder.
We might be able to either bribe or steal. Well, the problem with bribery is that it's only as loyal as the guy that we bribed. And so, I mean, if he reports us.
Right, so do it closer to the execution rather than early.
The problem is you have to arrange the buy. You have to say, I want to give you this money. That's why I'm thinking stealing it's probably better, because that way we don't have to worry about people being involved.
Right, but I don't think historically we have a lot of good luck when it comes to lying and stealing.
Actually, we're pretty good at that.
I don't know. We only just recently got deception dice with a few of us. And
yeah, but we all recently got deception dice.
On the other hand, we all recently got deception dice.
Right. And I'm just saying that I don't know how well that's going to work in the center of their fort. I'm just saying that possibly the bribery and black market angle might be better.
I mean, we have 5 days. This is enough to study their movement patterns, find out where the powder room is, and then get in. We've got a reasonable amount of stealth and... I'm
going to put this out here and I'll let you all know in character as well. If you get caught, I'm disavowing you. I do not know you.
Seconded. Well, the problem I have with I mean, you could also try to bribe someone. You do have a lot of negotiation in Streetwise. I could leave I will also point out that if we're going to bribe someone to get it, that's all on you, because you're the briber.
Yeah, but I mean that's a much lesser crime, I feel like.
Well, if we steal it and get caught, you get off scot-free. If you bribe someone and get caught, that's all on you.
Right. But again, if you steal it and get caught, I feel like you're in a lot more hot water than if I get caught trying to bribe somebody.
Yeah, and to be honest, I don't think it's entirely necessary that we get I mean, it's going to help. De La Vega is probably going to have his own men, so...
Oh, sorry, I was thinking more of an assassination style. Just kill him before he knows what's happening.
Oh, well, I only have pistols. We're not going to be able to do that.
One pistol could kill someone before they know what's happening.
The problem is you usually want to do sniping at range. Pistols don't have great range.
Oh, but don't you have low profile?
I got low profile, but I'm not a
you
good
could just
shot.
be a face in the crowd. You could be in the crowd, pull a gun real quick, shoot him,
Right, you're talking about
Viva la revolution! Bang!
You're talking about doing an Archduke Ferdinand, which is get real close to him, shoot him, and then wander off.
Right.
Well, the only problem with that is like my nagging conscience of am I that kind of person?
He killed your friend. Voice on your shoulder. I don't know any of this in character.
Didn't he burn down an entire village?
I'm gonna go get drunk.
Okay.
I've got to steel up my internal resolve to do this. On the one hand, he is a horrible person. On the other hand, just going up to him and shooting him like that, something to think about.
The man who wants to keep returning to Triskellion to get him now has to drink himself into...
Well...
It's called characterization.
The man,
one thing to defend yourself.
The woman.
It's another thing to be an assassin.
It's my morale, right? It's what you may have noticed that I give other people an opportunity to back off. It's another thing to do it in cold blood. I'm not saying I can't do it. I'm just saying like. Ugh.
I mean, on one hand, this man already had many opportunities, like when he tried to backstab you before in that one town where he killed your friend, or that other time where he poisoned swords to a tournament.
He's a bad guy.
Yeah, he is a horrible person. That's why I have to. But I'm gonna have to work myself. I got 5 days to work myself up.
Colin is ready for it.
Yeah, I love how you guys are hardened killers. I'm not a hardened killer.
You might remember, I have no part of this. Talking you up does not mean I'm participating. Let's you and him fight is my motto. Remember, what's my under motto?
It's also true. I can't fault you for that.
So I guess one of our plans that we actually have solid right now is Adris. You want to do the bribery?
Well, like I said, closer to the 5-day mark than before. So if that guy changes his mind or thinks he has more money to make by selling me out, it happens when I have more time to get away or we're done.
So we have to cool our jets for 5 days. I'm fine with it.
Sure. Yeah, your streetwise contact tells you of the armory, which has its own stores of gunpowder weapons and gunpowder to fuel those weapons. And it is not something that anyone in the fort would be stupid enough to try to raid themselves, but that he's heard there is a particular guard who could be bribed, who has made trades, not for guns because they think guns within the fort are not that useful, because if you're caught with one, you're fucked, and it's not a very large area, but that they have he has made deals with people in the past for weaponry that has been confiscated.
Snuff is a thing, right?
What is
setting snuff? Snuff is a thing in this time period, right?
Yeah, snuff's actually a thing on the list. Yeah,
it's on the list.
Yeah, so would it be too stupid to say that I like cutting my snuff with gunpowder?
Wow.
Are you just insane?
Maybe I can play that up.
That sounds like a thing, though.
That's alright. I spike my alcohol gasoline, too.
Well, I think people have done weird things with gunpowder before, drug-related. So that's why I'm putting it out there.
I definitely feel like I've heard that somewhere before. Like, maybe in something like about pirates or something, but it sounds like a terrible, terrible idea, but definitely something I've read about. Yikes. Okay.
That way he has a viable explanation. Not that I want to load guns, but...
I'm sort of viable. At the same time, the gunpowder you would need... Well, I don't know. Fuck, I don't know anything about gunpowder guns or about snuff, so I'm not actually qualified to tell you that you're wrong on that.
Well, my thing is that obviously going this route, I'm not asking for enough to reload both guns or anything, but if I can give Anushka one shot, that one shot might be it.
Right, okay. Okay, well, we'll save that for the moment in case there's anything else that anyone else would like to do preparation-wise during these 5 days in the fort. That sounds like a no.
Well, I mean, other than maybe negotiating for our wagon back.
So, the Karma bandits are in this area, and given that they're not they're known by faces all the time, they have to wear the bandanas to identify themselves. It's possible some of them might already exist within the fort.
Well, they're over here.
That's
though.
Very
they're
possible.
They're past the river. Remember. In the
They're
forest,
further along the road, but it's possible that one of them could be around. Are you trying to use an insider?
I have insider with them still, and I want to just go ahead and contact with them and maybe praise them of our plan, work something out.
Oh, I really like that. I mean, I think that would require traveling from the fort to go
We
meet
got some
them,
time, so
but you've got enough time to do that, so yeah. Okay, cool. Are you taking anyone with you, or are you going on a solo mission?
I could probably do this solo, honestly, unless someone really wants to come with me. I don't think Sir Connor should go meet with bandits, and so I guess that's up to Anushka? You could also send some regulars with me, just as, quote, protection.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, same two as before, probably. And that'll be good.
I mean, there's no reason for me hanging out with Connor.
Oh, let's go talk to the people.
Okay. All right, so you travel down the road, and you make yourself an attractive target.
I pull out like a slight rainbow handkerchief that, like, you know, it's like, oh yeah, I bought like 3 dyes back in town. I just mushed them together on this, and I'm just wearing it as an ascot out here.
There you go. There you go. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's on the as night falls on the first day of your journey outside of the fort. You can hear rustling in the foliage on the side of the road, and you hear what sounds like a bird call, but is persistent. You've heard them communicate this way in the past, and as you gaze,
I shall respond. Call. That didn't work.
Hoot. You can see the flash of eyes from the foliage on the side of the road. And as you approach, you can see that there are a number of bandits wearing these brightly covered scarves over their faces to mask their identities. And one of them will raise his short sword at you. And, there's enough distance between you. But he says, "Who are you? You wear our colors."
I'm a humble doctor, and I've been through here before. I've been treated with your people before, and I would say that perhaps maybe we're even friends.
They look like they're not fully convinced, but did I give that Chroma Bandit a name? I did. His name was Chroma Leader. Yeah, I know. Okay.
He too is anonymous, I see.
You're right, yeah. So there you go. Actually, we'll go with that. So they say, well, we do have need of a doctor. One of our number recently was injured during a raid. They've been sending, although the Doloro have had their hands full lately, the Crown Guards, the King's Men, have been pressuring us more and more. The bounties have increased. It's all we can do to make enough to survive out here, and unfortunately, medicine is not high on our list of needs right now. So if you would come and lend us some of your skill, perhaps we could repay you in some way.
I will. It is my duty to do so.
Very well. I'd ask your friends to sheathe their weapons and come with us.
Of course.
They will lead you deeper into the woods to a campsite that you have not seen before, and you can see that there is a coyote with a very badly injured. It seems that he got an infection, and without some intense care, some urgent care, he might lose the leg altogether.
This is well worth using healing on, then, in the immediate situation. Healing is actually worse than medicine right now, by the way, but...
Okay.
Yeah, because it's just my academics dice. Oh, right, that got up by a d12, so that's actually a d8, d12 now. Boop, there we go.
Yeah,
making sure I'm doing that right. I gotta keep updating things as I find them. So the target does get to roll their will. However, this is currently 6 versus 6.
Yeah. 4. Okay.
Right, so technically this has failed, and if I go ahead and check this out, I believe he just falls asleep. And then I just treat him normally.
Okay. Yeah, you can go ahead and treat him normally. As we pointed out, without supernatural, they can't really tell whether or not what's going on, so...
Yeah, I just start out with, like, a prayer for his soul. The light is like, nah, not today.
Not this guy. Not this motherfucker.
Alright. I believe I can reroll that 1, as I do have that as medicine. That is a d8.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go. 1, 2, 3, the target's body, and I have food with me, so I could probably feed him.
Okay.
And that would be an extra d6 there.
Nice.
And I do even have some medicine to give him. I will give him a good dose, which is 1 extra quota.
Oh, excellent. Okay, cool. So it looks like a total of 4 or 5 quota?
With the extra food there, then, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. So you stabilize him. He's going to be able to keep the leg. He has fallen into a noisy, snoring slumber, and you think that with regular care, he should recover within, a week? I don't... the math... A couple weeks, probably.
If it's 2 per day, then it takes, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So if you double it, it could be, end of the week. But if he's sick
Gotcha.
and injured, then, of course, double the time. So
he gets bed rest, so he only gets one success a day if no one's treating him.
Yeah,
so
it'll take a while, but
he
won't die of infection.
He gets to keep the leg, which is the important thing.
Right. But I've gone ahead and expended expensive medicine on him, and while doing so, I'll go ahead and talk to everyone about, the details of what happened, what they're after right now, and what their kind of, longer-term goals are.
Right. So they say that basically they're just, if I remember correctly, many of them were war refugees from Doloro villages and of Vortepois, villages that were destroyed. So really, they don't have higher goals beyond survival for the most part. Basically, eking out their own territory. Some of them have higher resentments towards, the power structure at hand. But for the most part, they're just trying to live free or die, as it were. If you mention the current trial with Frederick and the Children of the Shade, they say this is par for the course. The tyranny is everywhere. Unfortunately, Frederick got what he's coming to him. They all know that capture means death, torture, or worse. And that's just sort of the price of the lifestyle that they live with pretty much every day. So they don't have overt sympathies. They don't have the kind of nobility that the Children of the Shade seem to carry with them. And they're curious why you would, what it is you're looking for.
Well, you see, I've met the man before, and he's a scholar of some repute, and I do trust his word, and I do think of him as a good man, and it would be a shame for him to fall prey to these things. As such, my friends have actually been planning to stay his execution by force. And I'm just couching that so deep.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. A stay of execution by force. That gets some eyebrows raised.
Needless to say, I don't think they can necessarily return to the places that they once were. They probably will need somewhere to go afterwards, and honestly, to the west is probably the place that I would suggest that he run.
Well, though we lay no claim to be to take down, the powers that be, we are friends to all who suffer under the tyranny of the noble class, so in debt to what you've done for us and our continued friendship, we could give him a safe haven for a time. But if you're asking for help in this, I must say the mission sounds like it's a suicidal errand that you're running. I wouldn't.
It is definitely incredibly dire. De la Vega himself, the major domo to the king, is going to be there, and he is a man of such ill repute. He has slaughtered villages exactly like yours.
Oh, we've seen the works of De La Vega. I imagine that they're probably members of their number who were runaways from Mage Cross, the village that you guys started at, the village that was burned. So there's some resentment there. You could probably play on that and maybe rally some of them to your cause. Sure.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to rally them. It's like, I am a pacifist at heart. I believe that there's good in people and to give them second chances. But this man is crazy and needs to be put down.
This bitch be crazy.
Favorite line from Avatar right there.
There you go. Okay, I like that a lot. Do you want to give a leadership role, perhaps?
Oh, absolutely. If it's will and leadership, I'm rocking 3d12. And I have Insider with them for 4.
Yeah, take it.
Let's see, is there anything else I can throw at this real quick? I guess, alright. My nature as a saint does not help with this, of course. I'm guessing they're not pious.
These guys, not especially, no.
Yeah, no. Hey guys, did you know that studying can help you bring you towards the light?
Exactly.
And these aren't the ones who were in on green magic, so
No.
but I sold that back anyway. Yep, I think that's it. 4d12.
Damn.
Well, I can also re-roll that to get those 2 successes. I think I'm gonna go use my knack because I think I can do better.
Okay.
And I do with 3.
By 1.
I can even. Okay, so they aren't pious, but are they believers?
Yeah. I mean, they're mostly lower class, and I feel like the lower class.
I like how it just says believers, right? Do they believe anything? Do they believe in anything at all?
I believe more specifically would be believing in the Salamare religion and the light.
Yeah. I guess some of them might be
genuine
literate,
fashion.
But for the purpose of this, you can roll. Yeah.
4.
Are they part of the rock band,
6.
the Believers?
Okay.
It is our time now. The light shines upon us. The good of all is in front of us.
Yeah. So
should we all be meant only to suffer on this earth?
So this squirrel shakes his head, says, well, as I said, we lay no claim to trying to fix the system. But there are those among us who have a score to settle with this De La Vega. And they would be willing to help you. And to that end, you've got a rhino and a skunk with a gun.
Ooh. Rhino and skunk with a gun.
Yep.
Bam.
These 2 guys are bandits. With 4 successes, we'll make them... Well, no, I think they've got enough going for them. So the rhino, they're typicals. The rhino has giant strength, and both of these guys are willing to lay down their lives for this cause, basically, for the chance at revenge against De La Vega. If they can help, they will.
Right. And given that they're bandits, I assume that they could probably slip in with their weapons somehow.
Yeah, they'd find a way to smuggle
just
them.
to clarify,
we don't have to go through that. We abstracted. This is their skill set. They do.
Just to clarify real quick, you say he has giant strength. Do you mean he's a giant?
No, I guess he's not. Well,
I think rhinos are naturally giant.
They've got
nobody is naturally
body.
giant.
Yeah, no one's naturally giant.
You have to have a D12 strength to a D12 body to be a giant. Yeah, and you said he has giant strength, so that's what I'm trying to figure out what that means.
I got a little confused. He does have strength.
And Griffin's confused. It's in later books that we got rid of the prerequisites for giant.
There we go.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah. So no, these are still going to be typicals, but he will have a D8 for his body because it gets increased strength. increased trait body, and he has the strength gift, which means that he could be useful in a fight, right?
Right.
Well, he's a warm body. If you got veteran
body, he's very strong, and of course, they have guns.
And they've got, I mean, this skunk is much smaller, but is packing a two-handed gun.
And he's a skunk.
And he's a skunk, so, you know.
Fires from both ends.
Yeah. Spray. He could, like, blind somebody and then pow.
Yeah, it's the opening salvo to the De La Vega assassination is skunk spray. Then gun starts firing.
Or maybe it's an escape technique. I mean, it's probably easier to run through a checkpoint if everyone in the checkpoint can't breathe.
I guess
I have to look up how spray works, but
that you spray blinds people, but it also makes it difficult for them to escape because you can smell them.
Is it sweep?
It sweeps.
I thought so.
You can only do it once a day. That's why skunks have that distinctive marking. And then they do the little skunk dance because it's like, do you know who I am? Do you know who I am?
Do you want to have your day ruined?
Because I can only do this once a day. Don't make me.
Don't make me do it.
Yeah.
What kind of gun do they have?
Let's look it up because we've seen a couple different kinds of guns. And I'm thinking this guy, the reason why he's an asset because of his skunky nature, but he should also have kind of a big gun. Let's see what we got.
There's
get it
after pistols, you've got muskets, you've got fusils, which are what people call rifles, but we don't have rifle barrels yet.
Right.
And I don't think he would have a blunderbuss because that's like ridiculously huge and expensive.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, all this stuff is expensive, but probably a musket. Yeah. Musket is not as expensive as these things go. But it is very dangerous.
Yeah,
plus 2 slaying.
Extravagant.
Yeah.
It's so muskets. So the muskets get the bonus D8. I think they do.
They do. Yeah, muskets get a bonus D8.
And and just to clarify, you were saying the rhino also has a bonus of being a giant. Was that, or
no,
do you not have anything extra special?
He's not. He just
exists. Okay.
Just exists. He's got a D8 body instead of a D6 body.
He's
right.
What's he come armed with?
Species. Okay, so I can set those up later.
What does he come armed with? Do you have anything special?
Nothing special for him, but he'll be armed with whatever these guys would be packing. So could be a short sword.
Weapons.
Could be like something cool, like a warhammer or something,
or an extinguisher.
He would not be an extinguisher.
Warhammers. Remember, they had a checkpoint to keep us from smuggling this stuff in there.
It is a challenge.
Smuggling a warhammer in there would be less than ideal. Really, he should have, The
trick is that he is missing a leg, right? So he just put a warhammer down his pants, flat side down, and put that into a shoe. And he's been hobbling his ass through here the whole time carrying a warhammer.
Those are 7 feet long, right?
Yeah, well, the pole of it goes up to his shoulder.
There you go.
It's a very distinct waddle.
Distinctive waddle.
Very, very distinctive, yeah.
Yeah. That's a cool idea, but I think that probably what matters is
ideally the 2 best assassination weapons would be the short sword and the misericord. What you do is you grab the guy so he can't retreat and then stab him. Oh, sorry. That makes the ideal. The ideal assassination weapon is the stiletto, which you may have noticed shows up in the spy trapping. So, that's a long blade designed to go up and into the ribs to get to those organs.
Yeah. Let's see. As bandits, they have melee combat, stealth, tactics, resolve, streetwise, veteran. Yeah, they could probably sneak something in.
Yeah. I would give him a stiletto. It's silly. He's a rhino with a tiny little knife, but it is concealable.
Does he maybe conceal it in a fake horn on his?
And it's not that silly once you consider, you grab, hug, and stab.
Yeah, yeah.
And if he's a big guy, it's a lot easier for him to cover someone up with his body, stab them, and then move on.
I couldn't help making the Usagi joke.
But we're not making,
No, Jen keeps the hidden knife in his broken horn.
No, but it'd be hidden in his peg leg. It makes more sense. Also, because stilettos are pretty big too. They are long spears. They're short. The next level up is the S-stock, which is just where it's like 4 feet.
I thought a stiletto was just a dagger with a triangular cross-section blade.
No, it doesn't have an edge. It's stabbing only.
Yeah.
Well, that's why it's a triangular cross-section blade.
Well, it's usually round. It's usually a cone.
Oh, interesting. I mean, I've heard that the triangle is
like
so
an
that
ice
the wound
pick.
can't close, right?
Yeah. You can also have punch daggers. Punch daggers are also in the book. If you want to murder somebody, we got so many ways to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, speaking of murder weapons, at some point I should point out that the cleric has one, because you have a misericord, don't you?
Berserker?
Misericord.
No. I don't think so. I have no melee weapon proficiency. Let's take a look.
It's one of the trapping options in the clerical books. It's the mercy dagger. That's the dagger with the triangular blade that you use to slit people's throats when they are beyond help.
You mean it's in like the Book of Mysteries?
You don't have it, so
yeah.
You're not.
See, every time the misericord comes up, I think it's a garrote because it sounds like a misery cord. Right. What's a misery cord? A garrote.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Yeah,
too.
well, misericord is literally translates as mercy dagger, and it's the kind of knife that a surgeon or a priest would use if they were like found someone who was beyond help, and just. But it's also really good at just slitting throats.
Yep.
So getting the musket in would be a problem, but if you wanted, the skunk could hide outside the gates. And maybe...
we would need to smuggle it in. We would probably wait until everyone is at the gates. To smuggle it in, we either take it over the wall, or we need to bribe a guard.
They have stealth and streetwise. I think they have enough dice they could maybe roast to get in something that they want.
Well, we're also leaning on them.
I can see that.
The biggest problem is if they get. I mean, I'm not saying once again. I'm not saying this is a negative, like a downside, like a deal ender. I'm just pointing out that if they get caught, they can finger you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, getting it in is one thing. I feel like one success on a streetwise check would be able to smuggle something past a checkpoint. Actually using it is a different question, but I like the idea of him roading.
Oh yeah, as soon as that musket goes off, everything is on the table.
Right, yeah.
Either he shows up at Assassination Day or he doesn't. Shrug. It's a good plan.
Cool. Well,
so, we're in a couple days.
Yeah.
It's all Archduke Ferdinand.
I suppose that'll be next time.
I think that's going to be next time. Yep, we're out of time for today. But before we go, we always do our debrief where we run down the goals that we completed, talk about the gifts that you get for those goals, and then talk about our characters' mottos and personalities again. So let's start with the goals.
Mm-hmm.
What did you guys finish today? You did at least one.
We delivered the
scroll.
Delivered the scroll.
Oh, that's right. Okay, what do we get for that?
Yeah. Right.
Insider with the Aberclaw?
Did I come up with something
clever?
Let me
make a little bit of room.
Insider with the penitence.
Let me make a little bit of room in my sold back column.
Yeah. Insider with the aristocracy, the nobility of. I mean, that might actually be kind of useful, right? Insider with the Archduke's War Council.
Right, you could go with the nobility, or you could go because they are this particular faith. You could say insider with the penitents because that's their whole faith, and they had to deal with them a whole lot and how they're wiggling around their rules.
Right. Okay.
But I'm also fishing to try to get that for free. So
yeah, I've done this before.
Mm-hmm.
Connor, I'm offering him the gift of honor. I think what he did by speaking with the mists was an honorable action, and then in delivering their missive, he also held promise he made to essentially his national enemies.
Oh,
I think that's an honor.
Us all honor because you already know that Gar is going to sell it back.
I suppose. I know he is. Honorable feels like the kind of gift that is it a plot gift? It feels like it should have a very specific thing.
Honor isn't a plot gift.
Gifts that have plot attached to them are ones where you can't just like this was to get around the D&D problem of once a day I can do this. Like we said, well, this is plot, so it's like if you're going to be an asshole, it's not going to recharge.
Right, right.
But the way it works is, you tap it, and then you say you're going to do something, and it doesn't recharge until the GM says it does.
I see. I always read plot as like something where, to get this gift, you need to have a very specific story circumstance.
No. The description of plot in the book was, yes, everything in the game is controlled by the GM, but it was supposed to like signal to a player, don't take this and then peasant railgun go on it, where it just say like, well, it recharges once a day. Okay. Yeah, because we were making fun of like how Dungeons and Dragons would have all this once a day type stuff, even if it was religious. So it's if you're going to be an asshole about your honor might not come back.
Okay, well, you sold it on me. I will offer the gift of honor for this.
I'm gonna actually keep that.
All helped.
I might keep that too. That's a free D12.
I already sold it
It's
back.
a good one.
I'm now also.
I know you already sold it back.
I'm now also a procurer. I've taken another career.
Oh, Jesus, really?
And actually, the problem with giving me honorable is it gives me a moral dilemma, because walking up and shooting De La Vega in the gut in cold blood is not honorable.
Yes. So, just for the reference and for anyone watching, if you ever act dishonorably, you exhaust this gift, and you cannot refresh this gift until you've redressed the wrong that caused you the dishonor. I think what made me think of this gift specifically is that Connor did that. He did something that he felt was wrong, and he tried to atone for his sins, right? But what you get for the honor gift, a conditional bonus to defend your honor. So if you swear on your honor that you'll perform some task, whenever anyone dishonorably tries to prevent you from performing it, you may claim a bonus D12.
That means, for example, I could point at De La Vega and call him out and say, De La Vega, on my honor, I'm going to kill you. And then I would get a bonus D12 if anyone tries to stop me.
Yes.
Not from De La Vega himself, but from anyone else.
Gotcha.
And so that keeps it for me in game and balancing. So in other words, like whenever his bodyguards come away, I get an extra D12 against them, but De La Vega himself doesn't get it. That's a standard way to use it. That's why it's a D12 to defend your honor, and not if I said on my honor I'll kill De La Vega and get a bonus D12 to kill him, that would be game imbalancing, because you
get to roll that for every attack until he's dead or until you do something dishonorable. So
it's instead you promise to do something, and anything that tries to stop you get a bonus D12, which is still pretty nice.
Could be very
It also means like some of the things we're about to do here are underhanded. Like I said, if I just walk up and shoot De La Vega in the gut,
that is dishonorable.
It would be dishonorable and would tap the gift. So that's something I have to kind of reconcile, that I've tried to live my life with honor. Because you've noticed that, I usually guard or focus and wait for them to be aggressive first. So that's something I'm going to have to think about, because I might actually sell this back. I don't know. I got to think about it.
You could always use it. Then once you act dishonorably, sell it back.
Which is also why you only get half value for stuff, for those who play.
Yeah.
And the entire world then goes, this person has no honor.
Yep. So they start calling me Mary.
That's when they start calling you Mary. That's how we bust out the flaws.
My life got so much easier with this one neat trick.
You're really going to have to think of what one-liner you're going to pull when you shoot him now.
Yeah, this is the Nushka scene.
Yeah, it's like, you're a messenger, right? They have some sort of messenger-based theme one-liner.
Well, it's the easiest thing is I have a message from Gaston.
Yeah. I was like, delivery for De La Vega.
No need to sign for it.
But the killing blow has to be with the rapier, though.
That's the plan. Except it's not the same rapier.
Right, you didn't get it back yet.
I'm never going to get it back. It's lost. It's a lost cause.
Fair enough.
Tracking it down would be nigh impossible.
I think it's just in the Enclume hands. Like you literally handed it over to a specific person.
I did. Well, but it's to
unless he sold it off. But I mean, he probably has.
It's probably long gone.
Also assuming that guy hasn't been sent to the front lines himself by now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're sending everybody to the front these days.
Yeah. No, it's But anyway, I am, of course, Anushka, and I know no fear and serve with joy. So I came with you on this cool mission, and now I have to come to terms with reconciling joy with murder.
All right, let's go to Theta.
Adresgar, Guerrilla Dilettante, Bod, Rake, and now Procurer as well.
Procurer. Is that what book is that in?
That's book
For
of
my
James.
own. Gotcha. I'm gonna check that out. Awesome. Arcloid.
Arcloid, I play Connor Levere de Ecrivis, the Brazen Raccoon Knight Crusader. My motto is one hand washes the other. I think I did a lot of wheeling and dealing and showing my hand and talking to nobles.
Oh, I would say
even
so.
though they didn't listen to the missive, well, that wasn't my missive. It was mine to carry. That was about it.
Exactly. You could have said, "Oh, I'm just gonna burn this letter and let you die in a fire," but you didn't. You did what you said you were gonna do. Very honorable. Griffin.
Hey, I played the Doctor. Motto's first do no harm, second get paid.
Yeah, and I'm Red. I like running games. Forever GM. You can find me at startplaying.games as Red Rabbit. Yeah. Anything else we got to plug before we go?
Yeah, you can actually see Red Rabbit playing a game on Sunday mornings. I don't know where the Forever GM came from.
That's true, I guess, right? We are playing Torchbearer, which is never boring. I can tell you that much. It's very, it's a weird game, but it's cool.
And Book of Corals really soon now.
Yep.
Awesome.
I'm getting so close to posting an update.
Yep. Like, comment, subscribe, everybody, and catch you next time.
See you later.